Two Warriors Meadery is back in business, and they sent us 2 meads and 2 mugs.
So before we get started into these beautiful brews, I want to talk about these mugs because I have a serious, dare I say, fetish for handcrafted things of this sort.
Mine has a dimple.
Mine has a dimple, and the dimples are there so that you have a better grasp of your mug. They're actually there for a purpose.
I had not. Oh, it's a thumb spot.
Now, I love the outside of this mug, but it's the inside of this mug that's making me so happy. And I don't know if you can see it. I think you can see it. But it has just these beautiful, unique colorations inside.
Let me make some extra B-roll video for you.
I'm sorry. I love this type of stuff. All right, so you see it's blue, but inside, look at that splash of brown that goes down the inner edge. That is just gorgeous. All right, so mine is a two-toned with a light blue on top and then a lighter, almost ocean blue on the bottom. Brian's two-toned. He's got the darker...
Black and blue.
Black and blue, just like Brian. I don't know what that means. That's
yeah,
not bad.
I don't either. I hope that's not a harbinger of things.
No, it's not a harbinger. All right, but we have 2 new
But wait,
brews.
you got to tell them what the mugs are about.
Oh, so the mugs are stamped with the 2 Warriors Meadery logo, but they are also handcrafted by veterans that actually served with Cameron.
Right.
So,
Cameron's one of the 2 owners of 2 Warriors Meadery.
Right.
And these are made by veterans that he served with.
Yep. And so they are...
Microwave and dishwasher safe.
Mudheads Pottery. We will put a link to them in the description below in case you want to try getting your own mugs. It's awesome. So we have Mayhaw Madness and Blackberry Beausoleil.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'm impressed you said it right. Okay.
So Mayhaw, you want to talk a little bit about the Mayhaw?
Okay. Here's in their own words. This is from Curtis, by the way. The Mayhaw is an interesting story with it. It usually takes me about 6 months to develop a recipe from initial concept to final recipe that I think is ready for large-scale production. I had test batch number 4 in the test tank and thought it was ready to go into production. Let me preface this with the reason they're back in business is a few years ago they had a fire and lost everything. The entire place went up.
The building, everything
So this story has a lot to do with that. Well, on the night of March 30th at about 9 p.m., I was closing up the meadery, saw my notes on that recipe, and on a whim, decided to take a picture of my notes. About 5 hours later, I got a call that the meadery was on fire, and that photo on my phone was the only place that the recipe survived. So the only copy of this recipe to survive the fire was a picture that he just happened to take the night the fire happened.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So that's why this is like such a big deal mead for them. And we are honored that they sent that to us. That's just really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then this one, the Blackberry, is actually the first run of this was in the tanks waiting on bottles to arrive to the brewery when the fire happened. So this is the first time this has ever been released.
Yep.
So these are very special meads for 2 Warriors. And they asked us to take a look at it, and this one especially, he wanted us to give our thoughts on.
Awesome. So thoughts we shall give.
Yeah, I gotta open it. It's like plastic thing.
Yeah, they just got a little perforation thing. You just go bloop.
I can never open those properly.
Like that.
So let's do one at a time. Give me. How's that sound? Is that annoying? It's ASMR. So let's start with Mayhaw Madness, because why not? Are you ready? Wait for it. Oh. There we go. That was a satisfying pop. By the way, if you're curious why I put it so close to me, my microphone is right here. Okay. I have to read the notes on this one because I don't know. I did not read it ahead of time because I wanted to be just as surprised as you. There's notes in the bottle too, so that's what I mean.
And the aroma, by smelling the cork, I was getting definitely honey forward. Do we put the cork back in?
Sure.
I think it's on this side.
Primarily growing along swamps and river bottoms, the Mayhaw berry is one of Louisiana's most prized fruits, perfect for our honey Mayhaw wine. Mayhaw Madness is fruity and flavorful with sweet yet faint tart flavors resembling a blend of cherry, pineapple, and mango. Interesting. By the way, something about Two Warriors. Two Warriors Meadery, we strive to use only local ingredients, and a portion of every sale goes to veterans charities.
Yep.
This is alcohol 10% by volume and may contain naturally occurring sulfites. I'm just going to use it as aftershave.
It actually smells really lovely. You definitely get that honey forward, but then you get that earthy, fruity.
Yeah, there's almost.
Combo.
Okay.
It reminds me of something we've brewed before. And
Elderberry.
That's what I was thinking. It kind of reminds me of the elderberry.
In this, now I'll be honest, I love the mug, but it's very difficult to do a proper tasting in this mug because the smell is not going to focus as well.
Just get your nose in there.
You can sort of do it, but it's not as good as like a Glencairn.
I don't know. I'm getting some lovely
It's
aromas.
working. But what are you getting for smell? I mean, I get the honey, definitely.
I get honey forward.
There's a certain honey that they use in a lot of their meads, and that's what I'm smelling right off. I get that distinctive Two Warriors Meadery scent. There's some honey that they use a lot. There's a berry, but it's almost like kind of tropical citrus.
Which goes along with their explanation.
They said that.
Yeah. The mango.
Cherry, pineapple, and mango.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going in for a taste. Oh, definitely get pineapple. Yeah.
It's a lot more fruity on the palate than it is on the aroma. I was expecting to be that honey being pushed right forward, but no, I'm getting like light tropical fruit, not heavy dark fruit, but
yeah, very light, almost like an orange undertone. Pineapple is definitely like in there, kind of pushing things around. Cherry, I'm not quite getting. I'll have to work on that. Maybe
kind of got a little bit of cherry that time when I was.
Mango, I'm not getting a mango flavor so much as I'm getting like. Okay, this is gonna sound bad, but there's that like odd thing that can happen with mango. The weird. There's a flavor that it produces that I can't think of right now.
Okay.
Like a turpentine type of thing. I'm getting just a hint of that. It's not bad though. It's not like affecting everything. It's kind of a balancing, if anything.
The one thing I'm not getting
What?
Is the word your nemesis.
Grapefruit or peach?
Grapefruit.
Yeah. I'm actually even getting a little bit of spice, like a cinnamon. Just a touch on the.
This is really lovely. It's really easy to drink.
It's medium sweet. I wouldn't call it super sweet.
Yeah.
It's probably like in the 1016 to 1020 range. Might even be a little bit lower than that. 1014 to 1016, something like that. I should test it.
It's got a lovely mouthfeel.
Would Curtis and Cameron be mad at me if I actually tested it?
It took a gravity reading?
Yeah. I'd have to take a lot more.
I don't know.
No, I don't want to contaminate the sample bottle. So no.
We don't have our stuff.
Yeah, nothing's ready. We weren't. This is just a testing day. This is actually very, very nice. It's got a little bit of acidity, but it's not overly acidic in any way. I think the that bitterness that I get from the terpene, I guess it would be the name. I don't know. I don't want to call it that. From the mango-ish flavor is acting kind of like an astringent or a bittering and balancing those sweetness, because I think overall the pineapple would overtake it if not.
The earthy notes I was getting on the aroma that was making me think of elderberry, I'm not getting in the flavor. I'm getting just those light, crisp, refreshing fruit notes with the nice sweetness from the honey.
The honey really comes through on this. It's actually quite surprising. It's a honey mead with some fruity flavors, rather than sometimes it's fruity flavors with a little bit of honey. So this is definitely a mead.
That's
and
really good.
I hate to say honey mead because that's redundant.
That's redundant.
Honey wine is fine to say, but and they call a lot of their stuff honey wine because not every culture calls it mead. You know, it is technically just honey wine. Not to be confused with wine with honey added. This is fermented honey.
Fermented honey. Yep.
Yeah, this is lovely. They should be very proud of this one.
Yeah. So good job, guys. I'm glad you took those notes, Curtis, because this one was definitely, it was destined to be.
Yeah. I need a little bit more because they said cherry, and that really makes me wonder because I'm not getting any.
All right, so I was doing the thing that some people don't like me doing, where I was kind of swishing it around my mouth.
You do you, you know?
And I was getting cherry sensations like on the edge of my cheeks, if that makes sense. I know that's not, you don't
I guess when I think
but...
cherry, I'm thinking sweet cherry, like, you know, eat out of hand type cherries. I keep forgetting that tart cherries are a thing as well. And I shouldn't forget that because we do have Barbados cherries in our backyard, which if you handed me one and didn't say it was a cherry, I wouldn't know it was a cherry after tasting it.
All right, true confessions. I pretty much just eat the Barbados cherries straight off the tree now because they have this pit conglomeration. There's multiple seeds inside.
They're annoying.
It really annoys Brian, and they're not sweet, so that annoys Brian. But they're lovely and juicy and refreshing, so when you're out in the garden, it's a perfect garden snack.
But we could make a brew out of them.
I did make a brew out of them. It's called Maiden's Mead.
Oh, I mean exclusively. There is a deeper flavor there if you hold it for a while. There's something a little deeper. That might be the cherry.
I think it's the combination of the fruit with the honey.
Yeah.
When those two notes start to mingle,
right.
It reads cherry.
Now, I just want to be clear. There's no pineapple, there's no cherry, and there's no mango in this. It's Mayhaw berries, but they resemble those things. That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
I'm just trying to get it. I've never had a Mayhaw berry before. I know a couple of people have asked us to make something like this. So that's why this was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because I'd never even heard of them. I didn't know they were a thing.
Yeah, I don't think they're available to us.
No. I mean, I'm not in Louisiana, so.
But if you are in Louisiana or in a place that grows Mayhaw, I would say definitely try adding those to a mead because this came out lovely.
Actually, if you're in Louisiana, go to 2 Warriors Meadery and buy this.
There you go. Do that, yeah.
Yeah.
And get a mug.
Yeah, and get a mug while you're at it. But yeah, this is a winner. I have no complaints. Yeah, I couldn't even say I want it sweeter because it's sweet enough.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got just enough astringency to pull it back a bit, so it's not like this sweet, sweet, sweet. But it fits my taste of sweetness. So
I can even see this on ice on a hot day when you're just hanging out with the veranda.
And now this is just warm, like room temperature, 75 degrees or so in our house. So any colder, it would probably be. I find I like mead cold. I've been sacrilege. I've been pouring it over ice in a glass lately, and I'm really enjoying it. But also, it's Florida and it's summer.
Okay, it's like summer globally. This year's just been crazy.
Yeah.
And as bad as I feel of dealing with the summer that we've had, I am so glad we're not in Texas.
Yeah.
Because 100 plus all the time, not cool.
We had several 100+ days here, though, too.
Not cool.
Anyway, so that's Mayhaw Madness. I think that's a huge success. I love it. I think it's great. And Curtis and Cameron, if you guys have a few cases of this laying around that you don't want anymore, I'd be happy to.
You can actually get their stuff online. I'll make sure that that link is available to everyone so you can order your own. Do you want to give our mugs a quick rinse?
Yes, I want to give our mugs a quick rinse. All right.
Now, I'm glad that Brian selected the Mayhaw Madness first because, in all honesty, I assumed I wasn't going to like it as much as the blackberry. That remains to be seen because that was lovely. That was truly lovely.
No poor Cam on these. They're too difficult.
Yep, this is a whole different ball game.
I assumed it would be. This is Blackberry Beau Soleil. And let's see, what's the read up? Blackberry Beau Soleil is made with the ripest blackberries our area has to offer, so that's Louisiana. This variety is a perfect balance of tarty, fruity blackberries and floral local honey served chilled as an aperitif or paired with your favorite dessert. So we're doing it wrong. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, we didn't chill it and we're not eating dessert.
I would rather try it straight at room temperature first time to get a real impression so I have a baseline.
This is another 10% ABV.
Yeah, I smell berries.
And I remember I follow them on Instagram and they were trying to source the blackberries and they were having difficulty finding the mass quantities of blackberries that they needed. And so they were using Instagram to help them source them. So they were getting blackberries all over from their local region. And it was really cool understanding the process of brewing and watching them getting their group together to get these ingredients to make this happen. So that was kind of cool for me.
Right off the bat, I'm getting very fresh, like almost lemony aroma mixed in with the berry. So I know this is going to have a little bit of tartness. I'm hoping it's got some sweetness to go with it. Let's find out. Definitely berry. This also is on the sweeter side. It's.
Yeah, I can see.
Did you guys start making stuff sweet because you know I like it that way?
But I can see why they suggest using this with pairing it with a dessert, because it is sweeter.
This is sweeter
on the palate than that one was. I'm definitely getting honey forward, and it's like the blackberries are on the back. Yeah.
Which that's not uncommon. Berries don't have a lot of sugars in them. So you need a lot of berries to add flavors, because think about it. What else is adding the flavors? The sugars. That's where a lot of that flavor is coming from.
Yeah.
Is the higher sugar content, the more flavor it's going to impart. So
I am getting the floral notes as well.
Most definitely. That's their honey. That's the local honey that they get. It has a distinctive smell, and there's a distinctive flavor profile that I've picked up on every single mead except the ones that were not their local wildflower honey.
But this one is coming across more floral than the Mayhaw was.
Yeah, for me. I think it's because the berries are taking a little bit more of a back note this time, where the Mayhaws come forward more. This is more like in the back of your throat almost.
An interesting thing I've noticed with beverages in general is that if the drinking experience has different stages, like its forward notes are this and its backward notes is this, the more you're drinking it, lots of times some of those more subtler notes get elevated and you notice them more. And so I'm getting more of the blackberry of this the more I drink it. Yeah,
there's definitely an astringent tartness to that blackberry note. I'm getting it more after the swallow. Like it kind of lingers in the mouth. I think they made this one sweeter to overcome the tartness of those blackberries. They seem to have really, like, it's about playing that balance game. You know, we talk about this all the time. The sweetness versus the tannins versus the acidity. And they're playing that game really, really nicely with both of these. They're both very balanced. They're different balanced, though.
Yep.
That's what's really interesting. That one has, like, more fruit forward, fresh flavors. This one feels more aged. I don't know the ages of either of this.
Yeah.
This one's a more mellowed together. That one feels younger. I could be totally wrong too, but that's the way it feels. Like this one feels like maybe a couple months old. This one feels several months old, if not even a year.
Yeah.
Which this one could be a year.
It has some of the properties, of like even oaking. I don't think it's been oaked.
No,
but
I don't think so.
It kind of has that sensation, almost smoky, musty.
No, I'm not getting that.
And I use these words and they come off with negative connotations, but it just seems richer, deeper, almost like something you get from a wine that has that maturity to it, where it's not just here's some fruit and honey. It's taking its time.
I just get it mellowed together a bit better. Like the honey blackberry is more of a mixture rather than picking out separate flavors.
Because like even on the aroma, I wasn't getting the same experience on the aroma that you were.
We're definitely getting different experiences this time.
I was getting more...
You know what that means? Gotta go back for more.
Aged kind of scenario.
See, I got very fresh on the aroma. I need more. First video of the day. Why not? You know? By the way, if anybody's wondering, I don't want to ruin it for you, but we're not going to be putting scores on these because it's not our product. We don't do that. But they didn't pay us or anything. They just sent us mead and mugs.
Cool stuff.
So, I mean, you know, obviously we like these guys and they've been good to us. But if it was horrible, I'd probably talk to them before showing the video, just so you know. I don't know that I'd just outright show a video that said, oh, this is horrible. This is disgusting.
We haven't tasted something from them that we did not like.
No, everything's been pretty good.
There's been stuff that has been absolutely
stuff we like more.
Stellar, but nothing that we're like, don't like this.
But, you know, they asked for an honest review, so we're giving an honest review. I don't know which I like better. I have to be honest. I think I might like the Mayhaw.
I like the Mayhaw. I don't even have to think about it. And that doesn't mean I don't like this. I do like this. I do enjoy this. We just don't have any sweets in the house.
There is definitely
for purposes.
an astringent to this that's coming through towards the end.
I don't know. I just want to drink this paired with blackberry cobbler a la mode. And now that makes me want to have some blackberry cobbler a la mode.
Yeah, that was easy for you to say.
No, it was not. I can say blackberry Beausoleil, but I can't say blackberry cobbler a la mode.
Not sure how that works. But I would say this is another success. I think had we had this one first, we might be like, oh, well, that was good. That was really amazing. And then the Mayhaw is just better than that. But having the Mayhaw first makes this almost not a letdown, but it is a slight step backwards. Even though, don't get me wrong, these are both awesome.
Oh,
meads.
they're great.
If you have an opportunity to try either of these two meads, I highly suggest it. People ask all the time, what mead should I try? And I usually tell them Two Warriors, if they can get it. I think you can buy them online. If you can't, drive to Louisiana and just go in the store and buy it.
You know. But I believe they do have they're connected with an online service that they can ship.
I think that's how they ship it to us.
At least I think they can ship it throughout the continental U.S. I don't know beyond that because it gets more complicated.
Yeah, it's a big deal too to be able to do that.
Yes, it is. It's a huge deal.
So if you want to know what a good mead, by what we consider a good mead, tastes like, these are two examples that I would say, and I don't want to brag, but these are similar in style and finish to some of the things that we've done.
Yeah, you can tell by tasting them that they do taste their meads. They do continue the recipe to perfect it. They take time and consideration and take into consideration things like balance and mouthfeel and acidity and all the things that are important to make a well-rounded beverage. They're not just throwing stuff in a pot and hoping for the best. No, these guys are actually dedicated to the craft.
6 months to formulate a recipe for the masses.
Right.
Now you got to remember too, they are making things for commercial use. So it's a lot more involved. But what I meant by that was this represents a similar style and feel to some of the stuff that we've made, especially in the past year.
Right. Well, I think
if you like these, you might like some of the stuff that we've made. That's what I was kind of getting to.
I was actually mentally comparing them to other meads that I've commercially participated in.
I like these better.
And that's not just because they send it to us. It's because lots of times I'll taste a commercial mead and I feel like they're just kind of going through the motions.
Too sweet or not thought out properly.
They're like, here's honey, it's fermented, yay.
Yeah, we've seen some that like they put a name on it and you go, okay, that's great. And then you get it and it doesn't taste anything like what they described it as. These, other than the cherry, which I can sort of perceive, there's everything that they described is what it tastes like.
Yeah.
This one, everything they described is what it tastes like.
Yeah. Yep. I would like to try this chilled. We don't have time in this video, but
yeah, this video is already
things for me to look forward to.
Far longer than it needs to be.
As far as Derica's favorites from Two Warriors Meadery, the Mayhaw Madness has now made the list.
Yeah, I would say that's top 3.
My other favorite was their blueberry pie, which I don't think is in production yet, but I'm hopeful it'll be back. And if it is, make sure to buy some.
But anyway, go buy Two Warriors Mead. Yeah, that came out awkward. We're going to go with it anyway. And in the meantime, as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.